We know the question says 2/3 of Ann's money is same as 3/4 of Beth's money. So let's say this blue rectangle represents 2/3 of Ann's money, and a same size green rectangle represents 3/4 of Beth's money. Okay, this is 3/4 of Beth's amount, and this is 2/3 of Ann's amount, and they are the same size. Now the question is, I need to use 2/3 of Ann's money to construct or represent the entire amount that Ann has, and I'm going to use 3/4 of Beth's amount to represent the entire amount Beth has. I am going to cut Ann's amount into 2 equal pieces. Each piece will be 1/3, and 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 will give me 3/3, and that'll help me construct 3/3 of Ann's money or Ann's entire amount. And I'm going to cut Beth's amount into 3 equal pieces, and each piece will be 1/4. I have 1 1/4, 2, 3, I need one more, and if I have 4/4, I'll have Beth's entire amount. So once again, this piece represents Ann's 1/3. I can use that to construct Ann's 3/3 or her whole amount, and here each piece represents Beth's 1/4, and I can use Beth's 1/4 to construct Beth's entire amount. So what I did here is basically I cut Ann's amount into 6 equal pieces and Beth's amount into 6 equal pieces. The reason I chose 6 is because 6 is actually the product of 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are the numerators of these two fractions. The numerators of these two fractions, 3 times 2, is going to be 6. Now that I have cut Ann's amount into 6 equal pieces and Beth's amount into 6 equal pieces, I can easily compare the two amounts in a fairly convenient manner. So what do I have here? So these 3 squares must represent now Ann's 1/3, and these 2 green squares must represent now Beth's 1/4. And I'll need 4 copies of this to represent Beth's entire amount, and I'll need 3 copies of these to represent Ann's entire amount. That's exactly what I have here. So this represents Ann's entire amount, and this represents Beth's entire amount. And double check, 2/3 of 9 is 3, plus 3 or 6, and 3/4 of 8 is 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is also 6. So we are okay so far. Now let's read this part of the question. The last sentence. If the difference between the two amounts of money the two girls had was $5, how much money did each have? Now Ann has 9 squares and Beth has 8 squares. And the difference between the two number of squares is 1. So 1 square must represent $5. And this is important. You want to pause and reflect and make sure you get it. So Ann has 1 additional square compared to Beth. So 1 square must represent the $5 that Ann has, in addition to what Beth has. Now, that tells me that Ann must have 9 times 5, or $45. And Beth must have 8 times 5, or $40.